going on, Jerome's? So it does look like it's going to be JJ McCarthy show for the Minnesota Vikings going forward. And slinging Sammy Darnold, I don't know. Is it back on a cheap 1 year, $15 million deal? Don't know. If Darnold doesn't come back, does Daniel Jones come back? Or does he seek out greener pastures, be like, I learned everything I need to know from Kevin O'Connell and this coaching staff. Let me go, I don't know, play for the Saints or the Colts or something like that. Anyways, but also, what happens with Nick Mullins? We're scoring 4 touchdowns today. I'm throwing 4 touchdowns today. I don't know to which team. It's exactly what Nick Mullins is going to do. Enter Gardner Minshew. All right, so the Raiders have informed Gardner that he is going to be released from the second year of his deal. Last offseason, he signed a 2-year, $25 million deal. And what's interesting is that he does have $3.16 million of his 2025 salary guaranteed. So, I mean, he's probably going to get more than that in the market, but it could have been glorious. League minimum, the Raiders pay the rest. Yeah, it is what it is. But Minshew's been funny, man. Like, of course, Minshew Mania is a legit thing, and I do think that he can be a viable backup quarterback if the Vikings' other options go elsewhere. Where Minshew came in as a 6th-round pick, pride of Washington State, had that air raid going under Mike Leach, had a great relationship, grow the mustache. He lives in a van down by the river, literally. Go look it up. But, I mean, he got in there with the Jaguars. He lit things up a little bit, had a 3,000-yard passing season, and over the last couple of years, he's sort of floated around. Back up with the Eagles. He stepped in 2023 with the Colts after Richardson got hurt. And then last year was, dueling with Aiden O'Connell out in the desert. Also, Desmond Ridder was in that mix. Like, you're not to throw shade, but was the Raiders quarterback room last year with Minshew and Aiden O'Connell, AOC, and Desmond Ridder, like the worst quarterback room in the league? I mean, it was up there with the Giants last year. I mean, the Giants have 0 quarterbacks under contract right now. It's the best quarterback room they've had in years. All right, but Minshew's a lot of fun, man. And I actually do think that there is some viability of him as a backup. So he's only 28, does have that quick release, solid accuracy, the time in that air raid offense. Just get the ball out, run the mesh, and go from there. And then run 6. 4 verts. I like it. Does stand tall in the pocket, manipulates the pocket decently well. Accustomed to being a backup and then having to come in and play because he's done it over the last couple of seasons, right? And that is something that's important for a backup quarterback, where you're not going to get a lot of the practice reps, but you have to be ready to go on a moment's notice to be able to operate the offense. So I really respect backup quarterbacks who can do that. It's almost like I have a ton of respect for backup swing offensive linemen, where say you're a backup guard who can also play center, or a swing backup tackle can play both tackle spots. Like, you have to come in without a lot of snaps. You don't know which side of the ball or which side of the rock you're going to be on, and all of a sudden, like, hey, you're in. It's kind of impressive. But Minshew, he is reliable if needed. I do think that he hasn't been on very good teams as of late, but I do think that if you need someone to steady the ship for a couple of weeks, he certainly can do that. He's used to picking up new offenses. I mean, from his time from high school to junior college to East Carolina, Washington State, that bounced around the league, he's had 7 different offenses in the last 9 years. So he's very adept to that. Distributor when there's talent around him, good in the quarterback room, and also is going to be cheap. So my preference would be, I just don't see why Darnold will come back, especially with JJ McCarthy remains, because it's not like it's going to be his job long term. But Daniel Jones, I would love to have him back as a backup. I know people don't like Nick Mullins, but he does have this high variant. Like, Nick Mullins is the antithesis of what you generally get from a backup quarterback. Like, Nick Mullins is a gunslinger as opposed to a backup who just tries to do his best and just operate the offense. Like, when Nick Mullins came in, for those 2 plays when Darnold got hurt, he was slinging it. Like, he was throwing it to Aaron Jones like, hey, 33, I don't know your name, Aaron, just run a 9 route. Just run a wheel. That's what we're doing, man. But I do like Minshew a lot, and I think that In terms of backup quarterbacks, is he better than Zach Wilson? Yes. Is he better than Trey Lance at this stage of their career? Yes. So I would not mind at all bringing in Minshew. Plus, Kevin Connell's being the quarterback whisperer. I think that he has the highest floor of most of the other free agent backup quarterbacks. And with him only being 28, I mean, maybe he's looking for a home. And maybe he'll find one here in Minnesota backing up JJ McCarthy long term. Then he'll have a decent stretch of being a highly compensated backup on one of the best offenses in the National Football League with great coaches. Certainly could be it. But your thoughts are thoughts. Minshew mania to Minnesota? Question mark. Let us know. Comment section. You guys are the best you know what to do. Skull production value.